Hey there, special educators. Welcome to Autism Academy 360, a podcast to making your job as special education teachers easier. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Abby, a behavior specialist. And together, we have over 25 years of special education experience.
And I'm a veteran autism teacher. We both are passionate about empowering you with practical teaching strategies and actionable tips and tricks that will help you thrive in your role.
Whether you're a seasoned educator looking for fresh insights, a newbie navigating your first classroom, or a parent of a neurodivergent child, this podcast is your go-to resource for all things autism.
So let's get started with today's episode. Hey there, special educators, and welcome back to another episode of Autism Academy 360. I'm your host, Lisa Hollady, and today we're tackling a challenge that many educators encounter: managing elopement behaviors in the classroom. These behaviors can absolutely disrupt learning, but there are effective strategies we can use to address them. Let's explore some interventions that can help. Before we dive into any interventions, it's really essential to kind of clarify what we mean by these elopement behaviors. These kind of occur when a student engages in actions, any actions really, to avoid a task or any direction they find overwhelming. This might manifest as leaving the classroom or putting their head down or, flopping to the floor and crying about it. I really want to recommend collecting data to kind of better understand the context of these behaviors, specifically ABC data. This will help you determine whether the behavior is generally elopement-driven or motivated by another function, such as attention-seeking or sensory-seeking. Understanding these nuances allows us to kind of create a more targeted and effective approach. So it's going to be crucial to differentiate elopement behaviors from other types of behaviors. While both can look similar, focusing on the antecedents and consequences will provide clarity. I want you to try to observe what happens immediately before and after the behavior to kind of understand the student's intention. Are they trying to avoid a task or are they seeking attention? So here's the 5 effective strategies I want you to try. Number 1, teaching break requests. One of the most effective strategies in teaching students how to ask for breaks appropriately. Often, elopement behaviors arise when students feel overwhelmed and they don't know how to ask for a break. So instead of resorting to eloping or acting out, empower them by using a break card or a verbal request. This gives students a nonverbal option, which can be particularly helpful for those who struggle with communication or using an AAC device. When students use the break card, consider providing access to a preferred activity as a reinforcement. Over time, this can help them learn that requesting a break is a productive way to manage their needs instead of, having a meltdown or eloping. Number 2, utilizing visual schedules. So by clearly outlining, the student's day, students gain a sense of predictability and understanding. Once you've kind of analyzed your ABC data, integrate breaks or reinforcements at strategic points in the day and on the student's schedule to alleviate that anxiety and minimize the chance of elopement. So if you notice that a student is eloping every time, lunch is over, it's most likely due because they have math next, right? So you want to make sure that they know that they're going to get a break right after lunch, which sounds counterintuitive, but let them take that break and then transition from that break to math. Then number 3 is incorporating student choice. So this is another effective intervention to kind of embed the choices into your activities. Many students with autism have subjects they find particularly challenging, which can lead to more elopement behaviors during those times. So providing limited choices will give your students a sense of control while they're still ensuring they complete those necessary tasks. So if you have Johnny coming to sit down for math, you might say, okay, Johnny, do you want to work on this worksheet or this worksheet first? Or maybe you say, okay, do you want to start with a task box or start with, the workbook? Maybe you say, okay, Johnny, this is a bunch of pens. What color pen do you want to work with today? So you're just constantly giving them that choice. So adding elements of their special interest can also make tasks a lot more engaging. You guys, students with autism are typically hyperfixated on something, whether it's Sonic the Hedgehog, Barney, or trains. Using those special interests can make whatever they're doing a lot more fun. So for example, if a student loves, let's just say, SpongeBob, you might want to put SpongeBob into their writing prompts. Or maybe you have SpongeBob stickers and they really don't want to do that math sheet, but you put stickers of SpongeBob all over the math sheet. Then the likelihood of them eloping from this activity will decrease. All right, number 4 is using timers and transitions. So these can be powerful tools for helping students manage transitions and also shows them how much time is left before their break or activity changes, which can help alleviate those feelings of overwhelm. So you want to prime them by giving them an advance notice of whatever transition's coming up, right? So, okay, we'll be switching to reading in 5 minutes. Okay, we're switching to reading in 4 minutes. 3 minutes, this can help them prepare mentally and reduce the urge to elope. Or you have a time timer out or some kind of visual timer to help them understand when time is passing. Number 5 is implementing differential reinforcement. So differential reinforcement really involves recognizing and rewarding appropriate behaviors instead of those elopement behaviors. So for example, when a student raises their hand to ask for a break, or they give you a card instead of, running out of the classroom, you want to provide immediate positive reinforcement for that. This will teach them healthier and better ways to cope with their need to escape while still addressing their emotional needs, right? We've all had students who've kind of ran out of the room and all we do is kind of pull them back into the room, or they run away from the center they're supposed to be in, and we just keep putting them back in that center instead of kind of addressing what the real issues are. I really do want you to start with taking ABC data, appropriate ABC data, and really understand what the function of that behavior is. Once you understand that that is a true elopement behavior, then you can use these 5 strategies to really iron out your plan on how to get them to stop eloping. Please do not just ignore the behavior. Please do not take, no data. And maybe you call for backup and you say, I don't know what to do with this kid. He keeps leaving the room. Or I don't know what to do with this student because he won't do any of his work because he's shutting down. There's obvious reason why the student is doing what they're doing. Don't just give up on yourself or give up on the student. We want to make sure that we are figuring it out what it is and then solving the problem and using these strategies to help with those behaviors, right? First and foremost, out of anything, you want to make sure that you're teaching them how to ask for that break, right? They are very used to, either melting down or leaving to ask for that break. And break just means I do not want to do this activity. I do not understand this activity. They are trying to get away from whatever it is you just put in front of them, right? So taking a break, they don't know how to say, I don't want to do this. When you get into older kids or kids that are verbal or kids that really just understand, you have those kids, mostly in the ED rooms, that say, I don't want to do this. A lot of these kids who are eloping cannot say that or have not learned to say, I need a break. So this is the first thing that you will need to do. So in summary, we've explored those 5 effective interventions for managing those behaviors in the classroom. These strategies can be adapted to fit the needs of your students. And I would love to hear about what interventions have worked for you. Please share your experiences in the comments or reach out to me on social media. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Autism Academy 360. We hope that you've gained some tips and motivation to fuel your week ahead.
Before you go, don't forget to hit that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. If you want to show support, head to Apple Podcasts and leave your rating and review.
Until next time, stay inspired, stay informed, and most importantly, stay connected. We'll catch you in the next episode.